Well, actually, you know what? I want to talk about City and Arsenal, I think, and the
Yeah.
title challenge there. I think
Yep.
I think now it's starting to heat up well and truly. Well and truly. Obviously, it's after the midway point, and now we can truly say, we're back in business now. And yeah, I think Arsenal have played really well up until this point, even when it's really mattered. So their younger boys have stepped up, whereas City, I feel, have dropped off a little bit. I think because of a lot of not a lot of changes, but I think with Cancelo out of that team now, man, I think that's a
Yeah.
massive talking point.
It's shaking them up. He was their best player easily.
I just don't understand, what happened there.
The first game of the game week was Arsenal and Aston Villa. Amazing. One of the best games I've seen this season. I was actually unreal.
It was fantastic.
Unreal. I remember it was, while it was 2-2, during the first half and up until 2-2, I was thinking, Arsenal have buckled this. There's another chance for City to get back into it.
Yeah.
And then as the second half went on, after Zinchenko made it 2-2, I just had a feeling, I'm like, one of these teams is going to win this. Right at the end, Jorginho, the man that was at Chelsea for 5 years, never struck a ball like that. Ever. That was ridiculous. But bittersweet because it ended up being an own goal. But
look,
you love it if you don't like Martinez. He has his haters and he has his
it's against Arsenal too, you know what I mean? So it's like
big.
I wonder if those supporters they don't care who put it in. They'll probably be thanking him, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Arsenal did really well to get back into that game. There was a point there where they did look like they were fatiguing, and that's what I meant by they rocked up when they needed to. And I think I think their front three is really good. It's just I'm still not sold on Martinelli.
Yeah, no, he's had a dodgy second half of the season. But I think Aston Villa played really well, if I'm being honest. Both their goals were good.
Yeah.
Arsenal did well to get back into it. It was a terrible clearing header from Mings that fell to Saka for that first goal.
Yeah.
Second goal from Zinchenko, his first Premier League goal ever.
Yeah.
Which I was actually surprised to hear.
I know. He's had more Premier League trophies and goals. That's nuts, man.
Yeah, that's actually nuts. But yeah, I thought they played really well. Arsenal did well to get back into it. It was more... I could just tell because they played City literally 2 days before. I could tell Saka and Odegaard in particular looked drained.
They looked wrecked. I don't know, man. I feel like in that between this 60th and 70th minute, that Saka looked like he was really struggling, but found a second wind going to the final 20 minutes, and that applied to all the Arsenal boys. I think they all just stepped up when it mattered, and that's what they've been missing sometimes, being able to close out games. And that's what last season, that was the story of their life, So, they just now they've sort of crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and they look really, really good all around.
I was so surprised that those two in particular carried on the whole game because Saka's ankles were done. Like, he was on the floor. I was like, oh, he's coming off now. And then he just somehow got back up and kept going. I don't know, bro.
It just,
it's nuts. And then Odegaard, you could tell he missed a sitter. I don't know if you remember that one. But he right in front. He got it squared to him.
No, it was shocking.
It was terrible. But that he just, as soon as he did that, he dropped to the floor and he was just drained.
But that's where, when I saw it, I'm like, ooh. Like, you need to be composed at that time of the game, and it's like these. That's where I'm like, okay, they closed out the result, and now it's like, okay, they can compose themselves and win a game. But at that point in that game, I'm like, oh, this is not gonna end well for Arsenal. Like like you said, going into the last after the 2-2, we didn't know you didn't know who was gonna win. It was up and down, mostly more towards Arsenal's side of the pitch, but it was very much up and down. But I think Arsenal obviously was the better team in the last 45 anyway.
Yeah, I was so surprised when I saw Martinelli warming up. I was like, oh, okay, this was needed. Saka and Odegaard looked done. Like, they need a rest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Trossard came off for him. I'm like, I was shook.
Yeah,
Shooketh thy was.
Right, I shook. Oh yeah, bro. I was the same. I definitely would have thought that they would have opted for one of those two, but for Trossard to come off, yeah, it was very, very interesting call, but it worked.
Oh yeah, it worked. Credit to them. All credit to them, like Jorginho. And then the last goal, Martinelli finally scores, but apparently Unai Emery was not happy with that one.
Well, at the end of the day, yeah, I think not many managers are too keen on the keeper coming up because, you'd rather salvage, a point if possible. But I get it. It was one of the. No. I know. I was going to say, you can do it without the keeper going up into the square, though. Because you saw what happens in that situation. That happens a lot of the time. Yeah. Not more, not less than you think, but that in Premier League, it's. I think it's just where the way Emery's set up, he's a bit more safe as a manager. So he's very conservative in that sense.
It's just if I'm a manager, I would risk that. Like you're losing anyway, I would risk that. I'd rather take the risk and go and lose 4-2. I'd rather lose 4-2, but try and get back into it. You know what I mean? Which by setting the keeper up, whatever, it was risky, but I think it's a fair risk. Like you're gonna lose the game anyway. It doesn't really matter.
I think it does sometimes though. Goal difference sometimes can be a telling factor in league position. So
where are they sitting?
Look.
They're sitting 11th.
Aston Villa pride themselves on being as shut up shop as possible.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They depend on making sure their defense is always in order. It can't be even in situations like that. Your rest defense has to be on point. Without your keeper in goal, it sort of undermines all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would have been. I've seen it before where players have celebrated early and then missed it. That would have been funny.
Oh,
but I also had vision. I had a vision of Martinez heading that in. I was like, oh my god, scenes. I'm like,
it would have been
absolute scenes. That would have been nuts.
It would have been electric, mate.
If I'm Martinez, I'm pissed because that Jorginho's shot wasn't on target. Technically, the way it went in, pain.
It was good effort, though, man.
In the end, I think Arsenal deserved it.
I think it was a very good effort from Jorginho, and he is there, and he hit that emphatically. He hit that with so much bloody venom, bro. And I don't think he could have hit the ball better in that position.
Like I said, he was at Chelsea for 5 years. I've never seen him hit a ball like that.
Now he's one of those players, brother. No, I'm kidding. But he was always like we've mentioned. I think Jorginho was always going to, just do well. But let's see, he's not going to be a starter player. He's not going to be.
No, he's perfect.
He's going to be coming off the bench a lot.
Yeah, he's perfect for a backup player.
Yeah, so
squad player.
I think he's going to do really well there. But that's what I believe in terms of where he's at now is what he deserves.
Yeah, no, he did well. He's actually doing well with Arsenal, and the only problem will come is if he has to play every game week in, week out. Then he doesn't. I don't think he has the legs to keep up with the pace of the Prem and stuff like that. But if he's coming on, he does suit Arteta's play style. Yeah. And if he's just coming on, he's being a backup, he's not playing every single minute, then he'll do the job.
I think absolutely he will. I think he probably needed some rest too. I think he was getting played a lot in your midfield anyway, and was feeling very cooked towards the end.
It's a similar familiar feeling at Chelsea at the moment.
Yeah. So it's like, I know. As a United supporter, I know what it's like to have players come in. Once they were a really good player, but then they sort of fizzle out, or they just never really reach the heights you thought they would. Go elsewhere and do really well. So it's like we've got a lot of players that have come through United that are like that. So I know your pain. I know your pain, mate.
Anyways, onto the team that's chasing them, Manchester City.
Yes, Manchester City, mate.
I think Arsenal's going to win the league now.
As soon as I saw that Villa win, I was like, they've won the league title. They've won the title, and
they showed the heart that you need. And then City's just not
There's
not
15 games left. There's 15 games left. I understand that, and there's a lot of time to get that heart back. But I don't think you just see the trend of the season. You see Arsenal have been pushed time and time again. And I don't think to them it seems as though the end of the season sort of scares them. It's more about just the one game. It's just focusing. You see with Arteta's philosophy, man, just focusing on the present and looking at now and understanding how you got there, but also understanding that, you know, fate's in your hands. You've got to put in the effort. You've got to put in the work to get the reward. And I think that's gonna propel them into staying in that top spot.
Yeah. Look, anyways, in the City game, it's just, if you look at the XG, it was like 2.5 to 0.9 or something like that.
Yeah.
It was nuts. 26 shots to 4, I want to say.
I think with City, it was disgusting. Like, it was just that how can you...
But yeah, it was something like 23, 24 shots and 6 on target.
But the chances they wasted, though, bro.
Nuts.
Oh, God.
They were all over Forest.
Erling Haaland, bro.
The GOAT's Chris Wood.
Killed it. Yeah, I know.
Put one in. That's unreal. I love it.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, my, what do you call him, Oceanic cousin. Thanks a lot, brother.
Brother from New Zealand right here.
Brother. But yeah, no, City, it's up to them. That's all I'm going to say. Look, it's up to them.
It's weird, bro. Last year before, they're scoring 4 goals easy, and now it's just something's not there. Something's not clicking. It's just not hitting the back of the net.
No, it's not. No,
you know, because you got Cancelo gone. You got so many players underperforming. You know, Foden, Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva scored, but still, as a whole this season, they're just not turning up. They're having to rely on all of Haaland's goals.
Yeah,
and there's a whole conversation about, does Haaland make City worse? And it's a weird conversation to have, because you can make arguments for it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But really what I think it boils down to is City is adapting to playing with him, because they've never had a proper number 9, since Aguero, and he was a different type of number 9.
Completely different.
They're adapting to playing with a proper number 9 at just as much as he's adapting to the Premier League, right? So they're kind of having to adapt to each other in that way, and it's slowly getting there. But I think Pep's still working things out. As
you mentioned that, I think it goes to show that still improvement on Haaland's behalf. So do we see a bit more Alvarez towards the end of the season? I think he deserves a start, if I'm honest, man. Like, I get it. Haaland is killing at the moment. Maybe you get to take off Grealish if you want to fit in Alvarez, change up the formation a bit. I don't know, but I just see Alvarez having a pivotal part in City's revival. Whether or not he's injured, I don't know, man. With City, their soft tissue injury sometimes, you don't know exactly who's struggling or not with them. So just have to look into that. But in saying that, I think he has been in and out of the squad, and I think he just deserves a consistent place, man.
Yeah, I think he does too. I said this after the World Cup. Imagine starting in the World Cup final for Argentina, winning the World Cup, going back to your club and sitting on the bench.
I know, it's sad, man. It's sad. And, he has turned up this season for City when it's mattered to. Yeah. So he's just, I think he's not injured or anything.
I think he's good. I think he starts anywhere else pretty much.
I think he does too, if I'm honest with you.
I don't really know where. Maybe, obviously Haaland keeps him out. Kane would maybe keep him out. Benzema would keep him out. Lewandowski, but other than that, he starts anywhere. I
don't know, like, apart from those big time boys, 100%. I think he can fit in teams in several ways, though. So he plays like a cam or a centre forward. I think he can play. He could play on a wing easy, man. Yeah, just depends on his passing. Probably isn't as great, obviously, but you won't be seeing any crosses. But with City, you don't see much of that anyway. You know what I mean? I think he can play on a wing for City. I really do, because their wingers always favour cutting in and then crossing it from inside the box. And I think Alvarez can deliver. I think that's what makes Grealish really good. It's what makes Mahrez really good. They just open up. They just they create so much space, even in congested areas there. And I think Alvarez could do that. Has he got the ball control? I don't know, but he's definitely got the finishing. He's definitely got the attacking threat. It's just about just finding that space.
Correct. But yeah, I don't know. Something about City as a whole is just not completely clicking, and yeah, something needs to change. Whether it's Alvarez getting a start here and there, whether it's I don't even know.
De Bruyne needs to wake up a bit. He
looked like it against Arsenal. Against Arsenal, he looked unreal.
Yeah, I know, but he still looks flat. He still looks very flat.
Yeah. Actually, flashback that Arsenal game. He put in man of the match performance, got subbed off, and was getting bottles thrown at him.
Yeah, he looked like a G there.
That was the coldest. Like those photos, him walking along, staring at them. It's like what? And these bottles are flying next to him. That was so cold.
It was, yeah.
Top 10 coldest moments of 2023.
It was, man. It was, and it's only February, so
it'll be tarnished though if City end up. No, sorry. If City end up losing the league to them, though. If City come back and win, then that's fucking cold. But,
dude, I don't know what. Anyway, bro. London would be burning.
If City win the league, that clip is gonna get rinsed.
Oh, bro, absolutely rinsed, brother. We're gonna bookmark that.
Yeah,
we're gonna bookmark that. We've said a lot of shit on here that hasn't eventuated though, I reckon. But a lot of good stuff though.
We're looking for a producer that is gonna come through and just get all the reels done, and we'll pay you 100% of what we currently make from this podcast.
deal, whatever. Deal. Far out. That sounds fine to me. You're an idiot. So yeah, I think all in all, I think City, it's up to them, and I think Pep will try and figure out a way to get them rejuvenated and get some life back into the team. Maybe give De Bruyne just fucking a rest. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I think he's coming into his form now, and I think he's going back into his position. So he's doing a lot better since the World Cup has ended.
Yeah, he definitely has. It's I find these title races, it's not so much about what you can do against the other big teams. Like, City beat Arsenal, big game, huge. But now it's more about, can you consistently beat everyone else? That's where Arsenal's given them chance after chance lately to catch up, and they just don't do it.
Yeah, exactly right.
I think they're 2 points ahead now with the game in hand.
That's the difference, Let's just sneakily mention about the point tally at the moment,
because your boys are still in it.
A second.
Sorry.
Fucking hell.
Sorry,
bro, you can't let me build things up. All right, so we got Arsenal with 23 games played, 54 points, and you got City with 24 games, so an extra one, 2 points behind. So Arsenal can go 5 clear if they win their next match, which is against Leicester City. And we've got United, 3 points behind City with same games played. So United, it will be playing. Where are we? The fuck? Why are we? Am I blind right now?
No, I think
we've got a pretty big break.
You've got the So you had the Europa League this morning, and then your next game's the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle.
So our next Premier League game, it's a good point. There's a lot in between. So our next Premier League game is Liverpool at Anfield. So let's see what happens there. So that is going to be the difference between us and City. So if we can gain that advantage, that'll be great. But it's going to have to be well earned. So we'll see. Hopefully we're off the cup win. And go into there with full of confidence.
Yeah.